TomoNews presents Fake News.
Santa Claus embroiled in fake news storm. A Santa Claus impersonator accused by skeptics in the media of lying about a terminally ill child dying in his arms is sticking by his story today. Eric Schmidt-Mattson's heartwarming tale about a sick 5-year-old boy getting his final wish to see Santa before he died went viral this week after it was first published by a local newspaper in Knoxville, Tennessee. Schmidt-Mattson cried as he recalled telling the boy that when he got to heaven, he should tell him he was Santa's #1 elf and they'd be sure to let him in. The story is tinged with sadness, but also full of the joy of Christmas, and for many of us that evokes something deep within our souls. Unfortunately, however, for a lot of reporters, that something is cynicism. Some media killjoys dismissed the story as fake news, despite being too lazy to get off their asses and check the facts for themselves. They said the dates didn't add up and they wanted hard evidence, regardless of the boy's family's right to privacy. Snopes.com was among the doubters, saying the story was unproven. And those guys will be fact-checking your Facebook feed real soon. But Eric Schmidt-Mattson has no reason to lie. And NBC affiliate WBIR now says it has independently verified several critical details in the story. Schmidt-Mattson has promised to protect the anonymity of the boy's family and the nurse who called him to the hospital in case she loses her job for breaking protocol. Unlike his accusers, the Santa Claus impersonator has honored the memory of a little boy who knew all about the excitement of Christmas but couldn't fully understand that he wouldn't get to experience another one. To the cynics out there, quick to label anything they don't like as fake or phony, we say this: when you point the finger at someone, just remember the 3 fingers are pointing back at you.
The Syrian Hero Boy video turns out to have been a hoax. When we watched the Syrian Hero Boy video last week, we were as much in awe as the other 3.8 million viewers who assumed the shaky video was genuine footage from the conflict in Syria. We found out this week that the video was actually filmed in Malta, where the little boy and girl work as professional actors. Lars Klevberg directed the independent film with a Norwegian film crew who received funding from the Norwegian Film Institute and the Arts Council of Norway. The motivation behind the production and the internet release of the film was to spur debate and urge action on behalf of innocent children all over the world who are affected by war, Klevberg said in a press release. Well, a debate has been spurred, mostly regarding the film crew's motivation rather than the subject of innocent children in war zones. Klevberg and his colleagues have cast doubt on the videos and photographs of real atrocities that have emerged from the Syria war, Human Rights Watch advisor Fred Abrahams said in a statement. The same set has been used in big-budget movies such as Troy and Gladiator.
Are you not entertained? Are you not?
China keeping it real with fake butterflies. First, there's the fake penguins in China, and now they've decided to take fakeness to the next level by presenting you with a fake butterfly exhibition. The exhibition, called Dinosaur and Butterfly, was held last weekend at a park in Mashan County in Guangxi's Zhuang Autonomous Region. According to advertisements that appear on Chinese messaging app WeChat, tens of thousands of butterflies from far and wide at the exhibition will land on visitors' shoulders and fingers. But when Mr. Huang and his daughter traveled 62 miles to see the exhibition, all they saw were plastic butterflies placed haphazardly on the ground. Visitors left enraged, saying they felt they were cheated by the Yuling Beishan Exhibition Service Company, which organized the event. A staffer defended the company, saying the ad was not fake, and why couldn't a plastic butterfly land on someone's finger? What are they smoking? The park, meanwhile, has responded, saying the exhibitors have already cleared everything away, and if something like this happens again, they won't rent the area out to them. The organizers, meanwhile, are resolute in their stance that the exhibition was really up to everyone's imagination.
One guy almost fooled the entire world of journalism. One man was such a good con artist, he managed to trick international journalists. You know, those folks who are supposed to be the most scrupulous of all about sources and stuff. By and large, most people on social media, and many in the media industry, believe this man's false identity as a surf-loving war photographer. Before being revealed as a con artist, the unnamed man went by the name of Eduardo Martins, an accomplished photographer who was not only handsome, but also a skilled surfer from Sao Paulo. Oh, and a survivor of leukemia. Over the past 3 years, Martin said he worked as a United Nations war photographer, snapping events in the Gaza Strip, Syria, and Iraq, where he's said to have witnessed the battle for Mosul against the Islamic State. Man, that sounds really badass. Martin's photos were widely used by Al Jazeera, Deutsche Welle, The Wall Street Journal, BBC Brazil, and image agencies such as Getty Images. In fact, those images were actually taken by other photographers who actually went to the war zones. The little con man merely inverted the images horizontally and added some slight alterations. A BBC Brazil contributor in the Middle East became suspicious after Martins contacted her. She later reached out to other Brazilian journalists working in the Middle East and learned that Eduardo Martins never existed. The UN and other groups whom Martins said he worked for told BBC Brazil that Martins never worked for them, and none of them recognized his face. BBC Brazil later discovered that the images supposedly of Martins himself were actually of 32-year-old British surfer Max Hepworth Povey, who had zero knowledge that this was happening. Once the con artist's work was called into question, he deleted his social media accounts and WhatsApp. However, before he went silent, he said he was in Australia and was going to travel the world in a van. Puff, just like that, Eduardo Martins disappeared. BBC Brazil later discovered that Martins had online relationships with at least 6 women, and none of them had ever met him in person. Although the con artist's true identity remains a mystery, what he did is arguably the most successful case of identity fraud since Catch Me If You Can Frank Abagnale Jr.
CNN caught staging a live shot during London aftermath. Looks like CNN has created a bit of a shitstorm for itself after it was caught with its pants down, allegedly staging a pro-Muslim protest in London for a live shot. A video uploaded by Twitter user Mark Antro appears to show CNN anchor Becky Anderson on standby as police and TV producers help and direct a group of Muslim women with protest signs to set up in front of the news cameras. Apparently the protesters were already in the area and the police let them move behind a cordon. Why? Because it makes for a better live TV shot, duh. Unfortunately, it doesn't make for solid journalism. Naturally, conservative media had a field day. CNN is denying right-wing criticism that it was staging fake news. And let's be honest, CNN isn't fake news, it's just a horrible news network. Maybe it's time for a name change.
CNN claims Russia-linked election trolls used Pokemon Go. An exclusive report by CNN has claims that, of all things, Russia attempted to influence American politics last year via Niantic's Pokemon Go. But just how in Pikachu's name did that work? CNN says they found a word of Russian metadata in a 4-page Microsoft Word document sent by email. That document, CNN says, was part of an email exchange between a writer and a person called Daniel Reed, the chief editor of Do Not Shoot Us. Do Not Shoot Us reportedly posed as a part of the Black Lives Matter movement, covering stories of police brutality. But it's not all it appears. CNN says that website's Facebook page was one of many accounts shut down by Facebook after the social network linked them to a Russian business called the Internet Research Agency. CNN speculates that Don't Shoot Us was set up to stoke racial tensions between the black community and the rest of America. But what's Pikachu got to do with Putin? Hold on to your Pokeballs, Tomo Sapiens, we're getting there. That business is said to conduct influence operations on behalf of the Kremlin. CNN claims that in the summer of 2016, a Do Not Shoot Us Tumblr page asked users to play mobile monster-catching game Pokemon Go in places where police brutality took place. Users were encouraged to catch a Pokemon, name it after a victim of police brutality, and email a screenshot of it to Do Not Shoot Us as part of an Amazon gift card contest. CNN says the email address provided was the same one Reed used to send the aforementioned writer the email that contained a file with Russian metadata attached. The news network found no evidence that anyone took part in the contest. We're calling the Russian connection questionable. But given the news network's spin on the topic, we won't be surprised if some people decide to label it as #fake news.
Facebook finds fake Russian accounts spreading fake news. Aha, so it was the Russians all along. Either that or Facebook is trying to make something out of nothing. Facebook says around 3,000 ads worth $100,000 ran on their network over a 2-year period, ending in May 2017, adding that the purpose of the ads were to spread divisive social and political messages. The ads directed people to 470 accounts that were spreading false news or were in breach of company policies and have since been shut down. As part of an internal investigation on how Facebook could have been used to influence the last U.S. election, the company found ads that were bought from U.S. IP addresses, but with their language set to Russian. According to Facebook, in that part of the review, they uncovered about $50,000 in potentially politically related spending on about 2,200 ads. The advertisements did not support any particular candidate, but focused on immigration, race, and equal rights.
Fake bots may have fudged Last Jedi audience score. Just like the fictional universe they love, Star Wars fans have found themselves at war over The Last Jedi. One fan hates it so much, in fact, they claim to have hacked the film's audience score on review aggregator site Rotten Tomatoes. Sitting currently at around 57%, the fan claims to have hacked it with an army of fake bot accounts, and the claim may not be without merit. Bleeding Cool News found a Last Jedi reviews in the audience review section of the Shape of Water's RT page. This could easily have been a few misprogrammed bots reviewing the wrong film. We took a closer look at some of these user profiles. On the user ID pages of most of these negative reviewers, we were presented with Page Not Found. Evidently, these could be the bots we're looking for. Bleeding Cool News also reports that the rate of audience reviews for The Last Jedi has been incredibly fast. Thor Ragnarok has 80,000 audience ratings and it's been out for over 6 weeks. Justice League has over 116,000 user ratings in a month. The Last Jedi, meanwhile, got over 100,000 user ratings in just a few days. But is it really bots? Or, to quote South Park, that which has no life.